remember Adam? Right? Remember Adam? Remember how when he went into the garden and he took a bite of that forbidden fruit? God said that he surely shall die when that happens. And he died as soon as he took a bite of that forbidden fruit. He died. The first Adam died. But he was still alive. He just died at that moment. Just like God said he would. And then Satan, well, he took it literally, even though he already knew. That's the thing about Satan. He already knows. He knows more than what we know. And all the deception, too. So he knew Adam wasn't going to literally die right there. That's why he used that little trick on him. So he fell for that in the beginning. Christ is like, all right, you got me on that one. And then next time around, when Christ literally died, right, on the cross, Satan got tricked on that one. From that point on, that's when he needed to give up his power in the end. Like his influence. Satan has already had a change of heart. And he already learned his lesson when he had Christ killed. I mean, look what Judas did. Judas was still Satan inside of his vessel. So he felt horrible, and he went and hung himself. So the first Adam, the second death has no power over the last Adam, because the first Adam already died. So no, nobody dies in the end. Nope. Satan and Christ are working together. Christ hired Satan. You know, Judas. J-U-D-A-S. S-A-D-U-J. Oh, today is well, today's well, it's Tuesday. No. I think today's the 20th. Yeah. 21st, Wednesday. Right? 22nd. No. What is it? Saturday's the 23rd, right? Alright. So Friday's the 22nd. Thursday's the 21st. Wednesday's the 20th. So today's the 19th. Okay. 20, 21, 22, 23. 4 days, 3 days, 4 days, depending on what time. Friday's always a good day. I don't know what it is, but I had this feeling before that Satan already repented, that his spirit already repented. I don't know how long ago, but he already knew what the deal was. But Satan's vessel doesn't know all of it just yet. Satan's vessel does have a lot of knowledge, a lot of spiritual understanding. At first, I struggled between Satan having all that information or not, taking things literal, but just think about the very beginning, how he deceived Eve and Adam, deceiving them. I don't personally think it was a fruit. I think it was a decision made, and then Eve blamed it on the serpent. So whatever the serpent is to you is well, it's part of Adam. You know, Adam and the serpent were together, and the serpent and Eve were together. I think it had something to do with reproducing children. And that's what I heard. It was a sexual thing. Because the way I see it, it's like Adam, I think Adam lured her into it. You know, because they were naked. I mean, it's like, you know what I mean? How was he supposed to know? And then, well, she consented. She consented. And then afterwards, you know, afterwards they felt guilty. They felt shameful. They're like, what was that? And then God's like, what are you naked for? Who told you were naked? Because after they were like, what did we just do? I don't know. Shouldn't you put some clothes on or something? And you know, God was asking, and I forgot who he asked first. Did he ask Adam or Eve? Either way, when he asked Eve, well, Eve blamed it on the serpent, the snake. And like I said, Satan and Adam are together. So she blamed the thing that looked like a snake, I guess. I don't know. She's like, it's a snake over there. And then God wanted to know, like, what was the problem with Adam? Like, why is he naked? And who? I mean, not why is he naked, but who told him that he was naked? Because he's seen him with, I think, a fig leaf sewed to him. So there was shame, is what I'm trying to tell you. Shame came across Adam and Eve. And that's why birth pains are so terrible, because you got to push a baby out. But you don't think God knew that this was going to happen? He already knew. So she blames it on the snake, and then Adam, he's like, "What? The helpmeet that you gave me? She's the one that was like, hey snake, what's up? You know? I mean, seriously, what do you expect them to do? It's not like God was like, all right, you better not do that, because I don't know the beginning to the end that you're going to produce 7.7 billion children. All right, Adam and Eve, I didn't know that. So they wanted to know what it felt like to know good and evil. And they know. They know now. I know what it feels like to know good and evil. I don't want to experience evil anymore. Like evil in the world. Now, did they really bite the fruit of a tree? Did it really happen? Or was the God just write those stories in there to give us like spiritual meaning behind it? I mean, I don't know. Could have happened literally. Like literally, as it is in heaven, so shall be on earth. But I tend to believe that it's leaned more towards the sexual sin. That's what it is. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, Bo? Let's see, what else? Noah's boat, Noah's ark. It's going to be the same as it was in the days of Noah. Noah's going to build this ark. It's a spiritual ark in these days. It's like bringing two of every kind on the boat, male and his female. Take two by the sevens, the clean, and by two, the unclean. Like 2 times 7 is 14, and those 12 tribes. There's 12,000 of them in each tribe, and that comes out to 144. My stand's getting a little tired. I think I need a new stand. See, Satan never knew that, I mean, his vessel never knew. His vessel never knew. Well, I don't even know if Satan really knew. So, yeah, I think that's what it is. I think Satan has started to turn back to God. I'm not sure if he repented already, but he's going to repent in the end. That I can say for sure. Because after all, he's still like the rebellious brother. Christ just knows better. You know, he's the one listening to God, his Father. He always strived to be like God, you know. When Christ was in his vessel on earth, he strived to be like God. I just have a feeling he was you know, he just was more of an everyday citizen than it seems to be. He's basically like a stepchild too. Which represents orphans and taking in orphans and widows and, you know, just everybody that the fatherless, the motherless, everybody that didn't grow up normal. A lot of noise out here. A lot of singing going on. Oh yeah. So Steve knows. Steve knows what's going on with everything. And he was the first fallen angel to, well, he fell like lightning from heaven. And, you know, right around 12:12 at 27, he fell. And that happened 7 years ago, when he truly fell. The beginning of, at the beginning of the Great Tribulation. So for 8 full, well, 7 full years. 7 full years. 8. Okay. 8. Going into the 8th year ago is when Satan fell. In other words, the spirit of Babylon was poured out into the vessel of Steve. Because at that time, there was an angel there was another angel in heaven that said, Babylon the Great has fallen, and has become the, like the foul spirit of every dirty bird or something. Like every eagle. Hey, right, Steve? So, the spirit was poured out, just like the spirit of the 144 Ninevites. The Ninevites are the ones that are bringing judgment on the world these days, because they're the ones that repented back then. Same thing's happening these days. But Steve knows what's going on with everything. He knows all about the sky. He knows all about the plan. And I'm starting to understand that he knew all along that the sun, that they're going to steer it back, that they're going to start from New Zealand, come down like lightning, go all the way to the east, from the east travel to the west, go to the end of Alaska, and then when they're finished, that sun goes back. It goes all the way back to New Zealand, where it began, like the alpha and the omega, or the beginning and the ending. It's going to happen like that. So he already knew that, right? And at the same time, he also knew that they were going to make the sky open up and they're going to be finished with flying the sun simulator around, the moon, flying that image around, and these clouds are finished. They were already going to be done with it 3 days later. And that all happens May 21st to the 24th. That's what I understand in my heart. So because all that is actually happening, and I can see it happening, well, God gives me a reward in the end. That's all. Just a reward. I get what I ask for. That's kind of the way the theme has gone on YouTube. I've gotten what I asked for, and more. So I'm going to get what I asked for. And what I asked for is for all of you guys, right, to be free. Everybody to be free. Like I thought about it earlier, I'm like, man, I'm kind of tired. I feel like taking a nap, just, you know. But then it's like, well, no, I can't, because I don't want to be up all night because I got work tomorrow. And it's like, well, this is what society has done to us. They made us not to even be able to naturally take a nap. And who cares if you're up at night, or you're up at day, or you sleep, whatever, when the world is normal, you know? But it's not normal right now. So that's not normal. You should be able to take a nap whenever you feel like it. And time doesn't matter. And you don't need to be in a hurry for time. Everybody's in a hurry. To get where, man? Where are you guys going so fast? Yeah, time's almost up. It is. Thank God for that. So it's only fitting that Steve knows the entire world inside and out. That being the king of media and searching anybody and everybody that he needs to search out. That's the whole that's his whole purpose, is to well, play out the Bible, act as God. Because what they said was, they're like, all right, look, here's what we can do. When they decided to plan this out, we'll create a sun simulator. We'll spray the skies. We'll cover it up with electricity that you can't see past it, and we'll put our own sky up there. And then what we'll do is we'll make a generation go by, and they won't even notice. And you know, a few more years after that, let it all go by. Let everybody get adjusted to it. Mess with the weather, the wind, the temperature, everything, seasons. Get everybody used to it, and then when the time comes, push that button, that play button. See, I didn't know Steve was the one pushing that button, but now I do. I knew somebody was. I just wasn't sure who. And so now you can push that button, and then you can also make yourself look like you're Jesus Christ with all the information you got. You can use this craft of gematria to back your claim, and then you can get as many as possible to worship you. And then the ones that don't worship you, well, when you turn that sun out, that is going to get their attention, especially all the bombs happening with all your holographic images. I mean, look, it's the best way to get everybody to turn back to God. So yeah, God does appreciate you doing that, and that's the whole purpose of it. You just didn't think that you were going to be effective in a Christ-like way, Steve. You didn't know that. I think you're starting to understand that. I mean, it's a win-win. It's a win-win. It's more of a win the way I'm saying it. And that's why the simplest thing that can happen, it's probably going to be the case, where number one, you guys aren't going to get burned up by fire, okay? The Lord's not going to rain fire and brimstone down on you, literally. That's already coming out of my mouth. And so when you start to, when I start growing on you, right, and I'm coming in the name of my God, and I mean, to me, he seems like a pretty cool God if you respect him. He does open up doors for you tremendously. And so you just follow the right path when it comes to that. And you start seeing the doors open up. And you start seeing in people's lives that they start confessing things that that you've helped them with. And the proof keeps happening consistently. So, with me growing on you, right? When it comes to committing sin, you're going to start, which I think it's already happened. I'm pretty sure. It's already happened. But I'll know when we finally do meet, when you can tell me the truth of everything. And a lot of stuff that I already know. Just confirm it. But what happens is you're going to be tormented, right? And being tormented in the verse, the context that it's talking about, it really means feeling saddened, tormented, saddened. Because it's like you feel shame for what you've done against God's people, because your heart's starting to change, and you never thought that was going to happen, but you're still in charge. So until 7 times passes over you, well, if you want to say until your hair grows like eagles' feathers or wings and nails like bird's claws, then okay, until 7 full times passes over you. Well, May 21st, 2011 is when you were cast down, so looks like we're coming to that 7th full year. And then 7 full days. But the sun doesn't, this is what I say, I'm going to know towards the end. The sun, I say God's going to flick the switch on your power. He is going to do that. Now, is he going to open up the sky and short circuit your electricity up there? It's a possibility. However, I'm leaning more towards you guys are going to do it. And I'm just telling you when. And because I come in the name of my Father, and you guys have been watching me for the past 2 years, you see that I'm just genuine with what I say and do throughout my life. And I've grown on you guys. I have. So I'm helping you have a change of heart with the people on earth. And so God doesn't even have to do that, is what I'm saying. God does not even have to flick the switch. You guys are going to flick the switch and feel torment because of it. Because there's somebody out there that knows what your script is. And you know where I come from. And my message isn't that you guys are going to be killed or smashed or anything like that. I'm not even saying that God's even going to open the sky anymore. I'm just saying you guys are going to open it. And that was the plan all along, was to get everybody to worship you. However, you're going to give glory to God because of it. God's going to flick that switch in your guys' heads. He's already doing it. I'm an IV. That's my purpose. I'm an IV. Every drip is 33 minutes. Every drip. Drip, 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 drip. It's like Chinese torture. I would like to thank all of the agents on YouTube for making my life as difficult as possible. Because if possible, you can deceive the very elect. And Steve, well, you've seen that firsthand, if possible. It is possible. So that has answered your thought, if it's possible. It's possible. For how long? How long is it possible? Because I got strengthened by it. I learned how to deal with people from the inside out. It's like I'm being prepared to deal with many people in the world through this little device, because I am reaching people, and it doesn't feel as real. It will when I'm in front of you, but right now it's like it's halfway real. It's like I'm getting used to the social part of people that I've always been antisocial. So for me to be in this situation it's pretty crazy to think about it, but I am, and I'm here, and the duck agrees. So this is a way of getting me prepared from the inside out. Inside first, kind of like how Steve is prepared from the inside, the underground, inside out. Getting ready to rule and be worshipped as God from the outside, but then the shame is going to overwhelm your heart, Steve, and you're going to give God the glory for it. And so am I. I don't glorify myself in any way. It's God is doing it. I just have to accept it, what my role is right now. Just go with it. I'm going to see everybody soon. Just not on here anymore. The next time that I see you guys will be in person. Well, I mean, you might see me on the television set. We're going to see how that works out. All for just guessing the script.